Hello and welcome to Aishwarya Maths classes. Our today's topic is median. So what is median? Median is the second measure for central tendency. It is used to find out the centralmost value among all the observations. There is a little difference between mean and median. That mean is used to calculate average, whereas median is used to position average. Fine. These two are used as a measure of central tendency, but there is a little difference between these two. That means it is used to calculate average and this one is to position average. Now for median we will consider two types of data. Number one will be for ungrouped data and second one will be grouped data. Ungrouped data are also further divided into two types of data, in which ungrouped one will be with simple calculation and second one will be ungrouped data with frequency distribution. Whereas the grouped one is not divided into any further data, but it is itself a continuous data. In this video, we will discuss only formulas for these three kinds of data. So let's start with ungrouped data with simple calculation. Let us suppose that n is used for observations. That means what are the number of observations? There will be odd number of observations or there can be even number of observations. So when n is odd, the median will be find out as n plus 1 by 2 th term, because there will only be one central value, so that is why there will be only one term. Here there will be only one central value. Whereas when n is equals to even, then the formula for finding median is going to be the mean of n upon 2th term plus n upon 2 plus 1 th term. If you see, the difference between these two is that here first of all the number of observation is being added to 1 and then divided by 2, whereas the second here one, the number of observation is first divided by 2 and then added 1. So do not get confused between these two. Okay. This mean can also be written as n upon 2 plus n upon 2 plus 1 th term by 2. So why these two terms? Because here in the case of even number of observations, there will be two central values. That is why here there will be two th terms, but in this case there will be only one central value. That is why only one th term. Now ungrouped data with frequency distribution. Now here we have a table in which there are any x observations, frequency column, and this actually implies a cumulative frequency. This one is the cumulative frequency column. So here what we are supposed to do is, first of all, only this much table will be given to us, x and f, and we will first find out the cumulative frequency part. let the frequency A, B and C will imply the first cumulative frequency. Okay, this frequency will remain the same as the cumulative frequency, and for the next cumulative frequency what we are going to do, we will add this and this number, that means A plus B, and for the third one we will add this number and this number, that means A plus B plus C. So further we will, by adding the first cumulative frequency by the successive frequency, if we consider a row, then it will be continued in this manner. Okay, and this number here will be equal to n, means the number of observations. Also, this number of observation means whatever number we get here will be equal to the sum of this column. So that means this number is also equals to sum of this frequency column, that means A plus B plus C. Here also A plus B plus C, and the number of observations here will already be in ascending order, whereas while discussing ungrouped data with the simple calculation, whatever observations will be given should be arranged in ascending order first, and then we will find out n plus 1 upon 2 th term and then the mean of these two terms, whereas this will already be arranged in ascending order. So now this n will give us any number. So let, if it is an even number, let it be C1. By calculating this C1, by getting calculated by this, let us suppose we get C1, and for the odd let it be C2, and let we have calculated it by this formula. So now I'm going to divide it into two parts so that we get the difference between if we get an even number of observations, I mean the even number here, then what procedure we should proceed, and for the odd one we will also do the same. So let us suppose we get n is equals to C1, which is an even number here. So we will check for the number greater than or equal to C1 in this column. So first we will check for the number in CF column, that means cumulative frequency column, which will be greater than or equal to this number C1. Let I got a number A plus B greater than or equal to C1. So we will mark that particular row, not column but row. Okay, and the second step is going to be to select that number of X that lies in that particular row. So let us suppose we have D. Fine. So the corresponding number, let us suppose we have D. So we will select D and write the value of this D in our formula. Here. So the nth term, we will find it by this. We will understand it better through examples. This is just for the difference so that you can understand it better. Now, in case of odd, we will also do the same. We will find the number in CF, that means cumulative frequency, that will be greater than or equal to the number C2. So let I got a number A that is greater than or equal to C2, and then we will select that row and we will take the value of that x which lies in that particular row. So let we got E here, so E is equals to the value of x, and this value we put in the formula of median that we were discussing in the odd part. Okay, and after that we will get the median. Now for the grouped data, we will have only one formula for finding median. There is no discussion of even and odd in this case. So the median is going to be L plus n by 2 minus CF by F multiplied by H. So here this L represents the lower limit of class interval. This n represents number of observations, and the CF represents that number CF. Suppose, okay, let me write it out first. This represents cumulative frequency to that number which we have selected in the table, which will be given as a numerical data. So let we are given this table, and here suppose the selected row is this. Okay, so the cumulative frequency to that number which we have selected in the table, we will not consider that number. We will consider the cumulative frequency to be equal to the number preceding to that. That means this number we will select, not this one. So the cumulative frequency to that number which we have selected in the table, that means the preceding. And H is the difference between the upper limit and lower limit in the class interval. Fine. Suppose we got A here and B here, means A to B. So this class interval will imply the height to be equal to B minus A, as in table. And then F will be the frequency, and this frequency will be this one. Okay, so this is the formula for the continuous part of the data. Select, share, like and subscribe to my channel. You can also like it if you understand all the concepts clearly, and thanks for watching.